It's about that time, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for another episode of the Foolish Show podcast. I am your host, F to the Ish, Foolish, representing reality music entertainment. Tonight, we're going to have another great podcast, man. Y'all know we get on here and talk about real life stuff. Because life ain't a game. You only live once. We ain't got time to gossip. Let's talk about what's important. Things that we go through in life, different situations. And tonight, we're going to talk about, does it matter who makes the most money in a relationship? Who's the breadwinner in the house? Does that make a difference? Will that affect your relationship, who makes the most money? That's what we're going to talk about tonight. So we'll give everybody a little time to come on in. Y'all hit that thumbs up button. The live stream is always in the live chat. As long as we live streaming, the live chat is always open. Feel free to leave your comments. Support the movement. We're going to have another great podcast tonight. Make sure everything's set up. Then we're going to rock and roll. We live streaming right now on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. So shout out to everybody that's going to be tuning in on those platforms. We're going to have another great podcast tonight. Y'all know we spread love. We'll talk about real life stuff. We don't come here to gossip. Life is too short for all that. We get to the nitty gritty. Real life situations that we all go through. Y'all hit that thumbs up button if you're watching on YouTube. This is the Foolish Show podcast. Give you some of that soul food because we talk about real life stuff. That's how it goes down. And tonight's topic, we're talking about, does it matter who makes the most money in the relationship? Does it matter if the woman or the man makes the most money? Eddie B, I see you. Eddie B checking in on Facebook, I see you. Let me go ahead and get everything set up, folks, so we can get into it. Eddie B says, long time no see. I feel you, bro. You've been missing the action. Make sure you come check in, Eddie B. We're going to get to it in a minute, y'all. Hold on. Let me make sure we got everything live streaming everywhere. Then we can rock and roll. We can get to it. We can get it popping. Let me go to the live chat. Karen is in the building. I see you. Eddie B says, I'm glad to see you, fam. And it's been a long time since we talked. I think the man should make the most money before the lady. So this one's going to be interesting tonight, y'all. What y'all think? Who should be the breadwinner in a relationship? Or does it matter? Does whoever making the most money matter in a relationship? Does it matter? How would it affect you if your woman or your man made more money? Would it affect anything? Or would you still love them the same? No matter how much money they make, no matter what job they work. So tonight should be interesting. Justin, I see you checking in. Shout out to Eddie B and Justin watching right now on Facebook. We live streaming right now on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. But tonight's topic, does it matter who makes the most money in a relationship? Ladies, would you be able to date a guy that you made the most money? That you paid all the bills, but he's a good guy. And he just works a job that don't pay more than yours. Would that be a factor? Or would you overlook that? As long as he being a good man to you and loving you right, you cool with that. See, some people can accept it, some people won't. Some people might feel that, hey, you got to pay the cost to be the boss. I ain't going to respect you because you don't pay all the bills. It depends on who you're talking to. Karen says, doesn't matter as long as things are being taken care of and one person is not carrying everything alone. See, that's well said right there. At the end of the day, if y'all love each other and y'all got a roof over your head and the bills is paid and y'all able to be happy, then I'm with Karen. It really doesn't matter. But you know, as men, a lot of us can't take when women make more money than we do, because we feel like we're supposed to be the breadwinner. But fellas, you have to understand, just because we're supposed to be the head of the house doesn't mean you can't lead in other ways. It's different ways to show your leadership in the household. Even if you don't make the most money, you can still be that man figure in the house. You still can play your role as a husband, a boyfriend, or whatever. You still can play your role. So it all depends on who you're talking to. But then you'll have some ladies that they can't really respect a man if they're not in a certain tax bracket. They won't even give them a chance. They won't give them no attention because they don't make a certain amount of money. Now, who am I to judge them? It's their life. But at the end of the day, it depends on who you're talking to. Everybody ain't gonna think the same. Everybody's relationship ain't gonna be the same. The reason why you with your man might not be the reason why she with her man. So everybody's relationship is different. Nobody can really tell nobody what you should do. Everybody can only focus on their own relationship. But if you want to dig deep, it all depends on what kind of person you're dealing with. Does that person really love you? Or they love what you got? Or they love what you can offer? But if when you lose all that, all of a sudden they switch up on you or find a way to leave you. Some people will divorce you if you went broke. See, it's one thing to be by somebody's side when they're on top. But what happens if they lose it all? What if they had $0 in their bank account tomorrow? Would you say that I still love you and you my man and you my woman? Fellas, are you willing to accept a woman who don't have money and don't have much, but she's a good person and she good peoples? Or would you keep saying, oh, she's broke? How much will somebody's finances play a part in you loving them? So that's a big question. It all depends on who you're talking to. Everybody gonna have different opinions. Everybody don't think the same. Everybody don't act the same. But would you date somebody that you made more money than them? Would you marry, ladies, a man that made less than you? You paid all the bills in the house. You paid for all the trips. Would that make you feel a certain way? Would you feel entitled? Would you respect that man and what he's saying? Or would you be one of them ladies like, you can't tell me nothing because you don't pay for nothing? It all depends on who you're talking to. But we live right now, y'all. This is the Foolish Show podcast. We live streaming on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Tonight's topic: does it matter who's the breadwinner in the house? Who makes the most money in a relationship? How much factor does that play? How much does it really matter if the man or the woman makes the most? But see, we're talking about it, but a lot of relationships and a lot of marriages have ended because of that. You have some women that feel like, hey, I can't be with nobody like that. I can't marry nobody who ain't got no money and can't provide or can't do this or can't do that. Then you got other women that say, hey, I don't care about that, baby. As long as you treat me right and I feel love, I'll be with you and I'll ride with you. See, everybody have different mentalities. Everybody don't think the same. Because we all know you got good women, then you got gold diggers. You got good men, then you got gold digging man. Men can be gold diggers too, because they can look at you like, ooh, she work at the courthouse. Ooh, she drive a new Mercedes truck. Ooh, she live in a townhouse. Oh, how much you make, baby? So we can be gold diggers too. But when it comes down to being somebody, being in love with somebody and building and having a marriage, how much is that going to be a factor in how y'all get along? A lot of marriages have ended because of arguments over finances. One might feel like they're carrying more weight. One might get fed up and say, I'm tired of carrying the load. I'm tired of paying all the bills. And it all depends on what kind of person you date. If you got a person who ain't trying, then I can understand. Because who wants somebody to just sit around and just be like, yeah, I ain't worried about that because my baby gonna take care of it. Karen says he can't be broke now. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I get into. If you're in a relationship and you got somebody that's trying, and he might make a 9-to-5 regular job, but he a good guy. He just don't make enough to pay all the bills. Then you can have another guy who's just around, who's just sitting home playing video games all day, getting high, waiting on you to get off from work. Baby, I need your car. Baby, I need your truck. Baby, I need you to give me half of your income tax. That's a different story. So we're talking about two different things. Let me check in with Facebook, see what they talk about. Eddie B says, this is a very rough answer right now to respond to the question. I feel like the man should be in charge of the account instead of that woman. Now, don't forget that women can be very classy and can be dressed modest. Karen says, oh, heck no, we ain't doing that. See, that's what I'm saying. It depends on who you're talking to. Because it's one thing to talk to somebody and they trying to get on their feet. It's another thing if you ain't trying. If a person want to give you their time, then I can't be mad at them. Because you ain't trying. Like, you got to be able to bring something to the table. Because we know living ain't for free. They ain't going to keep them lights on for free. Ain't nobody going to knock on your door every day and say, here go a steak. So everything costs. The end all be all. It has to be more than money. When you talk about marrying somebody and loving somebody, it got to be more than that piece of paper. Because love comes from the heart. Your heart ain't got no barcode on it. Your heart ain't got no price tag. Karen says, women are making more money these days, but women should still respect the man if she chooses to be with them. Now, I'm going to put this up right there. Now, that comment right there, I'm with Karen 100%. Because you have women that make more and it is successful, but then you can't be talking to a dude, but the whole time you put him down. Everything you say, you talking down to him. See, a real woman is going to lift a man up. Even when he's down, you're going to help him build himself back up. I ain't say you got to take care of him and treat him like a baby. But sometimes you got to be submissive because you got to make a man feel like a man. If you keep beating him down and keep saying, you broke, you can't tell me nothing, I come home when I want to, then what's the point of talking to that person? What's the point of giving that person your time if you're going to always beat them down, talk negative? You don't do a damn thing. I don't care. I come home when I please. then why take it to that level? Why are you involved with that person? So I agree with Karen. If you're dealing with somebody and you know their situation, then come on. You knew that you made more than him, but it was something about him that caught your eye. It caught your attention. It got your heart. So it's one thing to talk to somebody, but then when you're always trying to throw something in somebody's face or talk down to them, try to put them down because they ain't in a certain tax bracket. They can't buy certain things. A to B says it all depends on the insurance and Medicaid and that specific job that are providing based on the job description. But if y'all just tuning in tonight's podcast, doesn't matter who makes the most money in the relationship. Doesn't matter who brings home the most money in your marriage. What if you've been with somebody for 5, 10 years, and that whole time you have paid every single bill and you have carried the load? Would you be fine with that? I'm not saying there's something wrong with it if that's what you want to do because it's your life. But would you be cool with that? Would you be cool with carrying the load for 5, 10, 15 years? Or would you feel like at some point you'll get fed up? I think that's a good question. Because I say there's a difference for somebody trying and ain't nobody trying to do nothing with their life. Like it's hard to build something with somebody who don't want to build something. How are we going to build something if you don't want to build something? Y'all get what I'm telling you? How is that possible? When I'm the only one that's picking up the bricks, I'm the one that's sweating. How are we going to build something? So I can understand if a person don't want to be submissive or give their all to somebody who ain't trying. Now, it's one thing if they see you trying, they be like, baby, I understand. Or you just lost your job. Baby, I understand you got to get back on your feet. I'm going to carry the load. That's cool because that's what being with somebody is supposed to be all about. You're supposed to have each other back through the good and bad times. So when I'm up, you're supposed to have my back. And when I'm down, you're supposed to really have my back. You're supposed to stand 10 toes down. So how much does you let money and finances factor into your relationship? Would you let it break what you have apart because you feel like the other person's not bringing enough to the table? Or do you feel like their love and affection is enough for you? Karen says, no, I would head on out of there if he ain't trying. See, that's what I'm saying. And women like Karen, I can't be mad at you. I can't say, oh, you shallow. Because who really wants to try to build with somebody who ain't trying to build? How are we going to build an empire together if you don't want to build? You don't even want to take a step. You don't even want to reach your hand out. How are we going to have something special together and build us a foundation if you ain't willing to do your part? Ain't nobody say you got to be a millionaire. But I know if a person see you trying and they got love for you, they can work with that. That's good enough for them. They'll take that in most cases. If a person see you trying, I don't care if you're working at McDonald's, they're going to be like, all right, baby, I understand. Just work at McDonald's for right now. I put in most of the, the money. Don't worry about the kids. The daycare and all that is good. Or you can be that person, you don't do nothing. All you do is you work at McDonald's. You pathetic. You're not a real man. Or you can be that type of person. It all depends. Depends on who you're talking to. And what kind of person you're dealing with. Some people are shallow. Some people cold-hearted, man. They don't care if they hurt somebody's feelings. They don't care if they kill somebody's self-esteem. They just want to get what they can get. And if they can't get what they can get, but they can't get their way all the time, then they throw a fit. That's more like being childish. That's what kids do. What do kids do when they can't get what they want? That's what kids do. Kids throw a fit when they can't get what they want. So that's childish. When you're with somebody, you got to be understanding. You got to understand that sometimes it might get rough. Some days might be good, better than others. Some days you might not have that. Some days I'm like, hey, babe, I ain't got $20. Can you give me something to eat? Or you going to be that one and say, babe, I got you what you want. Or I'm tired of you. You're broke. Hey, you won't bring nothing to the table. I deserve better. You got different type of people out here. Some people can love somebody for who they is. Some people like, I don't care who you is. What can you do for me? What can you provide? And let's be honest. Is they right? Everybody got the right to do what they want to do. Nobody can tell nobody how to live their relationships and who to be with and how to be with. But everything has consequences. If you carry yourself a certain way, you're going to get treated a certain way. Do y'all understand what I'm trying to tell you? If you carry yourself, you're going to get treated that way. So it's all right for you to be a gold digger or whatever. It's your life. You got the right to do that. But then don't get mad when you start getting treated a certain way. It's a consequence to everything. It's the same thing with fellas. Don't be surprised when females treat you a certain way if you just walking around being a deadbeat. If you just walking around taking up space. Ain't got nothing to offer. Think about it. You got different scenarios in different cases. Every relationship is different. Some people, it don't matter to them. They don't care who makes the most money, as long as they're being treated right and loved right. Some people be like, no, if you ain't making such and such a month, I am not going to talk to you. And that goes for men or women. Because you'll have a man be like, man, I ain't dealing with no broke chick. She ain't got nothing. I ain't giving her my time. So it all depends on who you're talking to. How a person thinks. Some stuff might be more important to other people than others. Some people, money, it might mean a lot. Other people, they might not care that much. As long as they're being treated right and loved right, they don't really care how much their husband or boyfriend makes, their wife or girlfriend makes. Some people, that's a big factor. Because certain people, they want a certain lifestyle, and they feel like you can't provide that. Then you see what happens. But everybody don't think the same. Everybody is not going to always be on the same page. I can't tell you how to live your life and what kind of relationship to have. But we can talk about what goes on in different scenarios and different relationships. You can look at good relationships and bad relationships. You can look at how long a relationship lasts and what's the common factor. And most people stay together because they stay in love with each other. And they don't let nothing separate that bond. Not even money. Some people will let money be the main factor. Some people will leave you if you stop making a certain amount of money. They will stop talking to you. They will move on to the next person whose pockets is bigger. It's a fact. I'm not saying all men and all women, but it's a fact. So do that person really love you, or they love what you're doing for them? They love what you providing. They love spending your money. But do they really actually love you as a person? So if you really want to get to know the person, you got to get to know them from the inside. And the inside, it ain't no barcode in there. It ain't no price tag on your heart. Being in love is something genuine. You can't pay for true love. You can try. But you notice all relationships like that, they always fail because it ain't based on the right stuff. If you just with somebody for what they got, because all of a sudden, what if one day that person lose everything and go broke? Now I want a divorce. You just don't turn me on no more. You can't give me what I need. Are you going to be that shallow person? Cold-hearted, selfish, greedy. Karen says, if you're not married, does this apply? I don't think I want to struggle with someone I don't want to have a commitment with if we are not headed in the right way. That's another great comment, Karen. Like, it all depends on what kind of person you are. Some people might say, listen, man, I'm already struggling, so me and you and that ain't gonna work. If you ain't got nothing going, I ain't got nothing going, I don't think it'll work. And you have the right to be like that. Everybody have the right to date who they want to. Who am I or anybody else to tell you different? It's your life. I can't tell you who to get into bed with. I can't tell you who to sex. I can't tell you who to spend your money on. Only you know what really makes you happy and what don't. Only you know if you can really deal with that or not. How long can you take carrying the load? If it don't bother you, if it makes you happy that you paying the bills and y'all happy, then go be happy. But some people, it might be in the back of their mind, like, I'm sick of this. It's going on 2-3 years now. I'm the only one paying the mortgage. I'm the only one spending everything on the kids and taking them shopping and paying for their clothes. Some people, it might start getting to them. They might not can't take it. So it all depends on who you talking to. Everybody ain't gonna think the same. Everybody don't move the same. So tonight's topic, does it matter who is the head of the household, the breadwinner, when it comes down to the money? Ladies, will it really play a factor in your life? If you with this dude, you really like him, but he can't even help you with the light bill. If you said, babe, I need gas, like, babe, I ain't got it right now. Would you be like cool and still love her? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Or would you be like, you know what? Nah, the little things you can't help me with, I'm gone. See, it's whatever side of the fence you on, you have the right to be on that side of the fence. Nobody can't tell you what to do, who to talk to, who to sleep with, who to give your heart to, and who to spend your money on. But when it all comes down to it is, nobody want their time to be wasted. So don't waste each other's time if you know you can't deal with that. If you know you can't deal with carrying the load and you're going to always have to bring it up and throw it in people's face or try to make them feel little, then don't deal with that type of person. That's not the person for you. Get you somebody that's compatible. Y'all understand what I'm trying to tell you? You get you somebody that's compatible, you feel like y'all on the same accord. Y'all have the same direction, the same vision. There's more chances of that working out because y'all have more things in common. Nakia says it doesn't matter to me. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all leave y'all comments and let me know. Does it matter? Who is the breadwinner in the relationship? Ladies, would you marry a man that you made 2 times more than him? Your salary is 2-3 times more than his. Fellas, would you date a woman who ain't got nothing? Would you marry a woman who ain't got no job, who don't do nothing? will wake up and be pretty. Some people, they want that because they make them housewives. They take care of the house. That's why I said it depends on who you're talking to. It's different strokes for different folks. What's good for me might not be good for you. And what's good for you might not be good for me. Everybody's relationship ain't going to be the same. But you're going to have to live it. So you got to ask yourself, how much these things is going to matter to me? Can I really deal with? Most of the time, I'm going to have to be the financial carrier. Unless that person changed their situation. Some people can change their situation. They might be down one day and up the next. They might have been broke when you met them, but now they got their own businesses. Now they got different incomes coming in. So you never know what can happen. Just because the person is down, that don't mean they're going to stay down. See, it takes the right person to love somebody right and help build them up. A lot of times we want the people to be already established. But what if they're just in the process of putting the bricks down? Are you willing to ride with that person and watch them build the empire and help them do it together? Or do you want an already finished product? Do you want the mansion already built and everything in order? It all depends on who you're talking to. Everybody ain't going to look at things the same. Everybody's not going to look at everything the same. What's good for one might not be good for the other. You're going to have ladies that say, I don't care. As long as he treat me good, he love me good, I will let that man love me and be my man. He can be my husband. Then you got some ladies like, I won't give him the time of day. I would never let no broke dude love on me and touch on me and sex on me. You can't even smell me if you ain't got no money. Let's go back to the comments. Karen says, if he was holding me down before he fell off, then I would be there, but I'm not broke. Like I said, it's different strokes for different folks. You know what you can tolerate and what you can't. Sonya says, of course, I'll ride with him. That's what I'm talking about, Sonya. Sonya says she'll ride for us through the thick and thin. See, it's one thing to be there, baby, I love you, and y'all on vacations, and y'all at the spa, you know what I'm saying? And he buying you them bags and all, baby, I love you. But what if that stopped? What if you say, listen, babe, I ain't got it like that no more. We got to eat waffles a little bit. We can't keep going to Ruth Chris. Are you going to switch up? Are you going to start changing your ways? Or are you going to find a way to distance yourself from that person? Nakia says, sometimes you help build them up. They move on with somebody else. Now, that's a great point. That's a great point, Nakia. Sometimes you can meet somebody when they ain't got nothing. It's just like you can date and find somebody in jail. And they tell you all these stuff, baby, when I get home, baby, I'm going to do this. And you make sure they good in there. And you put money on their books. And you holding it down. And you count the days down on your calendar. And you make sure they eating good in jail. And then they'll get out and they'll go run to another woman. That's a scenario what Nakia is talking about right there. Sometimes you can hold somebody down and they'll turn their back on you. They'll give you, they behind the kiss. And that's a great point right there, Nakia. Sometimes you can hold somebody down and be there when they ain't got nothing. As soon as they get something, they act like they don't know you. They forgot and get amnesia. And they forgot who was there for them when they ain't have nothing. They forgot. You forgot when you were sleeping on the floor, you were sleeping on the couch. When I had to feed you, you forgot about them days. Karen says exactly. But people will get amnesia. They'll say, I can't remember. I don't know what you're talking about. You ain't never did that for me. I did this on my own. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You ain't helped me do nothing. I don't owe you nothing. That's just called being ungrateful. And you got a lot of ungrateful people out here. They don't appreciate how somebody done held you down and looked out for you. How they had your back and you ain't even appreciate it. But if y'all just tuning in, this is the Foolish Show podcast. I am your host, F to the Ish. That stands for foolish, representing reality music, entertainment. But this is how we get down on the podcast. We get on here and we talk about real life situations. Like this is something we all go through because everybody has relationships. You're dealing with somebody, and whether they got money or not, how much does it matter to you? What if they're not able to pay for that Cancun trip? What if they're not able to help you get that car that you want? What if they're not able to buy, $5,000, $10,000 ring? How much would that matter to you? Some people, it matters more than others. You got some people that don't care. I don't care if you can't give me the world. I don't want that. All I want you and what you bring and give me your love. You have some good people that's like that. Then you have some other people that are like, no. Get away from me. No, you look dirty. You look broke. You can't have my number. No. It's different people. Every man ain't the same. Every woman ain't the same. Now I'm going to throw this out there and I want y'all to catch it. Every man ain't bad, and every woman ain't good. Listen, let me throw it again. Cause I know it might have went across y'all head. It might have went past you. Every man ain't bad, and every woman ain't good. Sonya says, speak. So it all depends on what type of person you is, what you like, what you don't like. If you know it's going to really play a part, then don't take it to a certain level. If you meet that person and you feel like y'all ain't compatible, y'all don't have the same goals, don't take it to a certain level because you're wasting each other's time. Because that's not going to last long because it's not based on the right stuff. When you start cooking, if you want a good dish, you got to make sure you got the right ingredients. You can't just throw anything in there and stir it up in a pot. You might eat it and spit it out. Sasha says, actions speak louder than words. Efforts with a goal of progress makes a difference. But holding a relationship down on your own is not fair in a relationship. So that's a great point, Sasha. See, some people can deal with it, some people can't. After a while, it might become a heavy load for that person. When every day, I'm the one that got to swipe my card. I'm the one that got to make sure that we got this roof. I'm the one that got to make sure the kids got everything. Some people, that's going to get tiresome and they're going to get aggravated. Some people, they don't mind. It won't bother them. Some people, they like, man, I'm getting sick of this. I can't do everything. I need some help. Can you please help me out? Can you please go do something? Can you find some kind of job or way to bring in money? Nakia says, I love being single. Too much going on with dating. See? I told y'all. See how we got different people with different comments? Everybody ain't going to think the same. Everybody ain't going to have the same opinions. But that's all right. That's called being a human being. We all are different. We all think different. What you tolerate, I might not tolerate. You might let your man do certain things. Your friend, your homegirl, your sister, your mama, they might not let men do certain things. Do you see what I'm saying? Everybody ain't gonna be the same. Only you know what makes you happy and what you can tolerate. If you know that after a while, your back gonna get too heavy, your shoulders gonna start to hurt, then don't put that on yourself and try to carry the load. You have to find somebody that's compatible. Somebody that you feel like can bring something to the table. They might not be able to bring the whole table, but maybe they can bring the legs. Maybe they can put the dishes on. But a lot of times, everybody wants somebody just that can bring something to the table. Nobody don't want nobody that just ain't doing nothing. All they do is just waking up and scratch every day, and then you got to be the provider. You got to make sure they eat and everything else every day. They be like, baby, I'm hungry. Baby, I need gas. Baby, I want this outfit. Baby, I want them new Jordans. Baby, I seen a new purse. Would that start to bother you? Or would you be fine and cool with that if you so deeply in love with that person? There's nothing wrong with spoiling somebody that you love. If that's what you want to do. Who am I or anybody else to tell you not to? It's your money. But you got to be true to yourself. And as the old folks say, all I can tell you, don't be nobody fool. Because you can have somebody and you can spoil them, but it's a different story when you got somebody just using you. When you got a leech that keeps sucking you and keep sucking that blood out of you. Sometimes you got to come to your senses. What I tell people is don't be nobody's fool. Like, how many times you gonna let somebody step on you? After a while, you gotta move your toes out of the way. You gonna let people keep jumping up and down, stepping on your toes? Or you gonna wake up and say, let me get my toes out of the way? If you know you got somebody that ain't got good intentions, they really don't want to build nothing with you. They just there because of what you could provide for them. Somebody put Black Lives Matter was a scam. I don't know where that came from. But we're not even on that subject right now. But back to the subject. Can you marry? Can you date? Can you be with somebody? And you the breadwinner. You make more than them. You make more money than they do. You pay all the bills all the time. You pay every time y'all go out to a restaurant. Every time you go to a concert. Every time you go to a comedy show. You paying for everything. Would that bother you? Would you be able to still say, you know what, I don't care. I love this person and they my man and they my woman. How much will finances play a part in your relationship? Because a lot of relationships end because they start arguing over money. You don't pay for this. You don't do that. You stop giving me this. Sonia says, yes, I can, and I have before. See, different people going to have different opinions. Some people do different things in their relationship that other people don't do. Some people will tell you, I don't care. I don't care if I make more than my man or my woman. I love them, and I want to make them happy. Some people like, listen, I'm with somebody. I'm doing that right now, but I'm about to let it go because my back is about to break. I don't feel like I can carry this weight. See, only you know how much you can put up with. Only you know how much you can deal with. Like, don't live a lie. If you know you're not really happy, don't live a lie. And some people live in a lie right now. Their whole relationship, their whole marriage is a lie. They ain't really happy. They're sleeping in the bed with somebody that they really don't even love like that. They don't want to put something on a piece of paper. They don't even care about them that much. When you get married for the wrong reasons, it's not going to last. Because sooner or later, you're going to start going at each other's throat. You're going to start seeing the differences come out, and that's going to lead to arguments and fights. That's why you get to learn people and find you somebody that's compatible and got the same mind frame as you. Not necessarily saying that y'all going to agree on everything all the time. Because of course you're going to have arguments. Of course you're going to have disagreements. I don't want no woman to jump when I say jump, high, and you go to jump and I say jump. I'm not trying to be your master. But it's okay to be submissive to your man. Make him feel like a man. Don't be around here just putting him down. See, a real woman going to pick a man up. Don't keep beating him down. Because you don't know how close on the edge somebody is already. Somebody could be already with their toes on the edge, and you could push them over. You could push them people to kill themselves. So you got to be careful. Try to build them up. Now, it's one thing if their whole mentality is just lazy, they don't want nothing in life. I can't blame nobody not wanting to deal with that. When you don't have no kind of spunk in you. You're just waking up and sucking up air. Do y'all understand what I'm telling you? You got some people just here just sucking up air. Taking up space. Ain't trying to do nothing. You got other people that want to do stuff. You might want to travel. And if you got somebody that's waking up every day and they ain't trying to get a book and they ain't trying to help, how y'all going to travel and do nice things? How you going to get that big house for the kids in the yard if everybody ain't putting in? Now, you might make enough to do all that, but then you might get tired of it. You might get tired of having to pay for everything all the time. So I can't get mad at somebody if after a while that gets overwhelming. They feel like I can't do this no more. Like you ain't trying to help me. You ain't trying to bring nothing to the table. You ain't even trying to bring the napkins. It's okay if you can't bring all the plates. It's okay if you can't bring the chairs. At least try to bring a napkin. Some people don't try to bring a napkin to the table. So I can't get mad at a person if a person don't want to deal with somebody like that. I understand. Because you're trying to build something for the future. You're building it together. A relationship is something built together. It takes two to tangle. A relationship is not one person. It takes two. So what the other person is bringing to the table, it matters. How much does it matter? That's on you. How much you put into certain things. Certain things might matter and might not matter to you. How important who makes the most money in a relationship is? Would you really respect a man if you're the one that paid for everything? Or would you look at that man a little different? Would you lose respect for the man? Would you not really listen to what he's saying because you feel like you don't wear the pants? You don't pay the cost to be the boss. You can't have no say so because you ain't the provider. Are you one of those type of people? Or you the opposite? Well, you know what, baby? I see you trying. I got us right now until you get established. Now, it's another thing, like we said, if you got somebody just flat out lazy, if you just dealing with a bum that don't want a penny, I can't fault you if you ain't trying to deal with that. Because you shouldn't have to lower your standards of what you want in your life because somebody else don't want to get with the program. If you don't want to get with the program, cool, but I can keep it moving. You have the right to keep it moving. Now, if you really like that person, you vibe that person, y'all have good vibes, you love their energy, they treat you right, then hey, you want to be with them, knock yourself out. Why not? If the money and all that don't matter that much to you, nobody can tell you not to be with whoever you want to be with. Nobody can tell you who to marry, who to give your heart to. Because at the end of the day, it's you that got to live that relationship. It's you that got to be behind them closed doors with them people. It's you that got to lay in the bed every night with them people. It's you that have to wake up in the morning if y'all live together and look at these people. So what all the outside people say, all the outside noise, it really don't matter. At the end of the day, you have to live. How much does money matter in your relationship? Would you leave that man if he went broke tomorrow? Would you leave that woman if you met her and she had a new truck, her own place, and then all of a sudden, after a year dating her, she lost her truck, she lost her place? What are you going to do? It all depends on how much you care for that person. Because if you care for that person, you'll never turn your back on them, even through the darkest times. You show them the most love when they down. It's easy to be there when somebody on top and ride on the bandwagon. Why are you real enough to ride with somebody if they lost it all? If your husband lost everything tomorrow and he can't pay no bill right now, are you filing them papers? If your boyfriend, when you met him, he was driving a brand new car, he took you to all the fancy restaurants, you went shopping 2-3 times a week, then all of a sudden, all that stops, and he can't do it no more. Are you still going to hold him down? Are you still going to ride till the wheels fall off? Or are you going to jump off the train because you see the smoke coming from the engine? Or are you going to put on your life jacket and jump off the yacht? Because you're starting to see it ain't how it used to be. You can't give me what you used to. But they still can give you something, and that's love. Because true love don't cost a dime. You can try to pay for love, but it ain't gonna work because it ain't true. The love you pay for is fake. True love is from the heart and it's sincere. That's the difference between true love and fake love. Fake love, you can buy that. Because when you get money, you can get a whole bunch of friends, but they're gonna be fake friends. You get a whole lot of boyfriends and girlfriends, but do they really love you? Or are they looking at what your bank account looking like? They're looking at what you own. Ooh, I can get a car. Ooh, that person can take me shopping all the time. Ooh, that person can pay my bill. Ooh. It all depends on who you're talking to. What side of the fence are you on? Doesn't matter. The person you married to, how much they got, how much they make. Will it play a big factor in y'all being together? Can you be with somebody who don't really have much, or who ain't got nothing at all? Some people say no, and I can't be mad at them because it's your life. So you go after what you want. I don't know what you want. I don't know what makes you happy. Only you have those answers. You know what makes you happy and what you can deal with and what you can accept. Who am I or anybody else to say, be with him? Talk to them. Talk to her. You got to talk to that girl. You got to talk to that man. You do whatever makes you happy. Because at the end of the day, you got to live your life. You got to be in that relationship. Your friends, your family, everybody that got an opinion, they don't have to live that relationship because they got their own. They got their own household to worry about. So how much do you value other people's opinion? Especially when it comes down to your heart. That's your heart. It ain't theirs. That's your time, not theirs. That's your time and love invested, not theirs. So which side of the fence are you on? Would you hold somebody down if they had nothing? Or would you jump ship? Or would you say, listen, as long as I see they trying, but if they ain't trying, I can't do it. I can't be mad at you because most people want somebody that try to want something in life. Have some kind of ambition. And at the end of the day, the bills ain't going to pay itself. People ain't going to feel sorry for you. So you got to go out here and make something happen. You got to make something happen some kind of way. Then when you got other mouths to feed, when you're dealing with children, you really have to push yourself harder. You shouldn't need no motivation because the kids should be your biggest motivation because you should want to give them a good life. Make sure they eat good and give them the things that makes them happy. But you can't do that if you ain't doing nothing, if you don't want nothing. If you waking up still wishing, I wish I had this, I wish I had that. If you still living on the wish, then a lot of people ain't going to deal with you. A lot of people is not going to give you a time of day or their heart because you still wishing and not putting that in action. Somebody said it in the chat earlier. Actions speak louder than words. Anybody can do all this puffing. I can say, yeah, baby, I love you till the sun come up. But am I showing you love? Do you feel that love and affection from me? Or is it just words that's coming out the cut of my mouth? Actions always speak louder. So if you care about somebody, you can tell them. It's okay to tell them. Ain't nothing wrong with complimenting your man or your woman. But you still got to back it up with action. You can say anything. Because you can say you love me, but if you cussing me out every day, if you calling me names every day, if you always trying to attack me physically, if you always trying to sneak and steal my money, then how much do you really love me? Because your words and your actions, it ain't matching up. It don't go together. That puzzle is not fit. Think about what I'm telling you. So anybody can tell you and sell you the sun and the moon. They can tell you it's raining cats and dogs outside. It's up to you to believe it or not. And it's up to you not to be a fool and go out there and look for yourself. You're going to sit there and say, ooh, it's raining cats and dogs. Or you're going to get up and go look. Oh, man. But we're having a good podcast tonight, y'all. It's all good vibe. And I like everybody's feedback because everybody ain't going to think the same. So I want to see how different people feel about different things. Some people, they don't care about that money part. As long as they meet them somebody that's going to treat them right, make them feel good, and love them good, they all right. They don't care what that bank account says. Then you got some people, they ain't going to give you their number. They ain't going to give you their Instagram. They ain't going to give you their TikTok if they feel like you broke. And I can't knock them. Whatever side of the fence you're on, I can't knock you because it's your life. I can't tell you what to do. If that's what you want to do, because it's your time and energy. Whatever you're doing, you putting your time and energy in it. It ain't mine. So who am I to say, hey, why are you doing that? If that's what you want to do. If it's working for you, if you're really happy. But if you ain't happy, then you're living a lie. It's one thing to be happy, but then you can pretend like you're happy too. You could be smiling and cheesing with that person and kissing all on them and hugging them, but you still ain't happy. Because you know you ain't with them for the right reason. You know they really don't get your engine running. But you just only talking to them because what they're giving you, what they can provide, what kind of material things they can give you. But deep inside, you don't feel that love. You try to make yourself feel it. And that's called fake love. True love comes from the heart. And you're going to love a person for who they are. When it's all said and done, you have to love a person for their heart and their personality. A person's heart goes a long ways. What does it matter if somebody had $100 million if they got a bad, sour heart. That money ain't gonna cover that bitterness. That bitterness is gonna come out. So you think that just because they got that money, they can make you happy. But inside, they could be an evil, bitter person. And money will only enhance that 10 times more. And you will see a different side, or see sides that you're not gonna like. Because they might treat you like a piece of meat. You might be just another number. You might be just another person in the sheets. So how much do you value money in your relationship? Does it play the biggest factor? Would you date somebody who had that? Would you date somebody who couldn't buy you a Whopper or a Big Mac? Would you date somebody if they couldn't help you put $25 of gas in your tank? Or would you say, don't worry about it, baby, I ain't worrying about it because I got it. I get my own gas. I buy my own food. It all depends on who you're talking to. Different people think different ways. Everybody don't think the same. Everybody's relationship is not the same. Some people can deal with it. Some people can't. Some people is more important than others. Some people say, I don't care. I don't care what your bank account look like, baby. Some people say, hey, how much you make? That's the first thing they ask you. How much you bring in there a year? How much you make a month? Some people, that might be the first question. Other people, they might not even bring it up. It all depends on who you're talking to. But I appreciate y'all, man. We about to get ready to wrap this podcast up. We've been going by over an hour. But if y'all like this, man, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And this, how I get down. See, all the other podcasts, they're going to try to suck y'all in because they're going to throw a celebrity face up there. And they're going to tell you all the live gossip that's going on just to suck y'all in so they can get views and get money. Over here, we like to have real life conversations. I like to get everybody together. We sit down and eat us some soul food. What we talk about, it touches your mind, body, and soul because we live in it every day. That's the difference between this podcast. We talk about stuff that hits you every day. Everybody can relate to being in a relationship, how much the other person is making. We all live in it. Some people might be single for a reason. Some people might not want to jump in a relationship. You have the right to live and do as you please. It's your life. Nobody can tell you who to love. I can't tell you who to marry. You have to make that decision with yourself and within your heart. And you got to be able to live with that decision. You have to be able to live with the person that you're choosing. If you choose to give this person your heart, you won't have to live with that decision. You just don't want that decision to come back and bite you. Because sometimes we give our heart, our time, and our energy to the people who don't deserve it. The whole time they was playing on you. The whole time they was using you. And we were so naive, we couldn't see it. In your eyes, they couldn't do you no wrong. When the whole time they was just sucking you dry. Since you met them, your life started going down. So just be careful what you invest in. Be careful who you give your heart to. Be careful who you give your time and energy to. Because some people might not deserve it. But I appreciate y'all, man. We're going to go ahead and wrap up the podcast. Before I go, y'all make sure y'all support the movement. If y'all want the official reality music entertainment merchandise, as you see on the bottom of the screen, y'all take a picture, man, and scan that barcode. And it will take you to our official store, The Reality Music Entertainment Merchandise Store. We got new hoodies, beanies, snapbacks, fitted caps, t-shirts. You name it, we got it. Joggers, workout gear for the ladies and men, sweats, tank tops, all type of accessories, stuff that you need for the house. We got towels, sheets, socks. Whatever you need, we got it. Scan that code right there on the bottom of that screen, man, and it will take you right to our store, man. Support the movement. I appreciate all the love and support. Y'all just keep tuning in, man. And we're going to keep having a good time and having real life conversations because that's what it's all about. So y'all scan that code, man. I got a special going on right now. You type in reality and you get 30% off. So y'all jump on that before it's too late. 30% off on all merchandise. Scan that code on the bottom of your screen, y'all. If you want the official Foolish Show podcast, we got the Foolish Show hoodies, sweaters. You name it, we got it. Y'all scan that code. Support the movement. Y'all stay safe. One love, everybody. I'm out.